Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 3-star guide / walkthrough on how to get 3 stars on every Kevin stage. These are new secret stages added in Overcooked 2. Overcooked 2 recently released the other day, and I am helping you guys get 3 stars on the secret ones. These can be pretty challenging, so stick with me and I will help you guys get through these. Starting off with Kevin 1, we're gonna have to make your way over by 1-3, and you're gonna come up this little hill here. The way you unlock is, most of the ways you unlock these Kevin levels is very simple. So for this one in particular, you're gonna go to 1-3, and in 1-3, if you're on solo, you have to achieve a combo of 2, and if you're cooperative with other people, you have to achieve a combo of 2 as well. So the thing with combos, and this took us a little while to figure out, but combos are when you complete the orders in sequence. So you do the first one, then the second, then the third, then the fourth, and so on. That's how you generate combos. There is no time limit on the combos. As long as you do them in order, you get combos. So anytime I'm say you need a combo of blah, it means that you need to get 2 orders in sequence. So doing them out of sequence will break your combo, and you know you're doing your combo right if the tips thing at the bottom has a multiplier on it, and it stays there. Going over here to Kevin 1, this stage it's pretty simple. Even with 2 people, it is a very simple stage. There's not much to it. So the person on the right obviously has the fish and the wheat, or the flour. And the person on the left has the steak as well. The person on the right has the, what I believe is the steamers, and the other person on the left has the mixers. So the way we went about doing this level is, we're trying to find the most optimal strategy. And this is what I'm trying to present to you guys, is the most optimal strategy to beat these levels. So on this stage, really, all it is just whenever you need, like flour, the person on the right just goes over to the flour, as many as they need, and tosses it over there, and they collect it. Same with the other person. The person on the left only gives. The person on the right is going to be doing most of the work, because they are going to be putting most of the dishes and most of the things in where they need to go. Other than that, this stage is pretty simple. If you have a hard time with this stage, I recommend having specific jobs. So if you're playing 4-player, let's say, you want to designate different jobs. Like, in this case, the 2-player person on the right has to do the steaming, some chopping, and the orders, like with the dishes and stuff. If you're still having trouble, you could have the person on the left chop the fish as well, although that would create an extra step of passing it over the table. But this, all in all, this stage is pretty simple, and really, if you have any trouble with this, just, practice makes perfect, so do the best you can. Heading over here to Kevin 2. This one is one of my personal favorites. In this world, if you want to unlock it, you got to go to World 2, Level 2. And if you're on solo, you must achieve a combo of 3. And if you're on co-op, you need to achieve a combo of 5. So, like I explained earlier, a combo means you got to do them in sequence. So if you're in cooperative, you got to get 5 orders in a row, all in order. Don't mix match the orders. Make sure you get the first one, and then the second, third, and so on. And if you're on solo, you do 3 instead of 5. Heading over to Kevin 2, though. This one was one of my personal favorites out of the Kevin levels. This one was very, how can I put it, unique. So those 4 boxes, or I guess you could call them boxes, the little stationary stuff, those are going to move during this level. You'll see in just a little bit, some guys are going to come by and push them around. So this is a matter of search and rescue, really. You got to find which things do which, and if you're looking for a carrot, let's say, and the dudes have been pushing it around a bit, it's kind of like, oh god, where are the carrots? So you got to go find those again. It's not too difficult. This level is pretty simple. It's all open, so I mean, that's another thing that makes it easy. Anytime you have any open levels, it's always going to be super easy, just based on how the gameplay is set up. If you're having trouble with the stage, which I don't know how you could, but no, I mean, I'm not making any judges, but I guess you could coordinate, again, different jobs. I always see people, especially on YouTube, like in Let's Plays and stuff, when they're like, oh, this level's super hard, or like, I can't get 3 stars. It always comes down to the idea of jobs. Like, if everybody's trying to do the same thing all at one time, it's gonna get mixed up. Even me and my sister here on this video, there were times where we just, like, you collide at one spot, and it's like, oh god, well, what do we do now? So, like right there, boom, see? We were mix matching and it got a little confused. So if you designate each job to a different thing, it doesn't even have to be jobs. You could coordinate this based on the orders, like, oh, I'm doing this one, you do that one. And it's like, blah, blah, blah. The thing me and Malia's tried to do a lot was we tried to do 2 orders or 3. I could kind of do 2 on my own, so Malia could do 2 as well if she wanted to. So we coordinated it that way, but all in all, this stage is pretty simple. So good luck, practice makes perfect, and do your best. Heading over to Kevin 3, this one was pretty cool as well. So to unlock this stage, you're going to need to go over to World 2, Level 4, 2-4, and if you're on solo, you have to achieve a score of 600, and in cooperative, a score of 1,000. Now, all that means is just how much money you make. So solo, make 600 bucks. In co-op, make $1,000. In 2-4, that's not that hard. The level is pretty simple. If you have trouble with that, again, like I said, coordinate different jobs or coordinate different meals and things like that. So heading on into this one's pretty cool. I would say though, it is cool, but I feel like this one is one of the hardest ones out of the Kevin levels just because of that stupid elevator. And I say that because the elevator itself is not poorly designed, but it tricks your brain. Like, you think it's gonna do this and that, and it doesn't. Like, you're like, oh, I need it to go up, but it goes up always at the wrong time. So one way that we worked around that was that we tried to keep at least one person up top. So if they could, they would stay up there. Like, you'll see in multiple cases, me, the red person, I tried to stay up there as much as I could. I was always throwing things down. I was picking stuff off the elevator. And Malia's job, the blue one, was to, anytime she mixed something, she would throw it onto the elevator. And that was kind of our strategy. If you have a hard time picking things off the ground, the other person could leave it on the counter, and then you come down quickly, grab the bowl, and then bring it back up. That's one way I could think you could do it. Or the person down below could bring the bowl up top. Now the steamers. The steamers were, I mean, they're in a very odd spot. It's a little difficult to reach them at times. There's a lot of times where we were about to miss an order, and we got super close, but we still made it. And the way we did that was by always keeping the dishes up top. So anytime you see dishes down below, so the person that's sitting down below, if that's what you guys are doing, the person down below should always bring the dishes up. If they have the dishes up there, there's no hassle on where the dishes are, and the steamers won't overheat, basically. I guess I could say something about the meals. So the thing with the meals was that you don't want to look too far ahead, because if you look too far ahead, you will end up just overcrowding yourself with things, and then it just gets too crazy. We always stuck with either the 2 or 3 rule. This one, the orders are super simple. It's not that much of a challenge, so we stick 3. So 3 orders at a time. If we get 3 in, boom, we work on the next 3, because there's always going to be 5 waiting. If you're having, I haven't brought this up. If you're having trouble 3-starring a level, so listen to this part. If you're having trouble 3-starring, keep the combos going. I explained what the combos are earlier. So if you look on the top left here on our game, you will see that we need steak, steak, shrimp, steak, fish. Okay? We just turned in a steak. So in order to keep the combo going, we would need to go steak, shrimp, steak, fish. And that's how you do combos. It doesn't matter when you get them in, it only matters what you put in. So if we put in a shrimp right now, we'd lose our combo. We don't have one right now because I messed up the order on accident. I'll bring this up later when that's more prevalent, but if you're having trouble 3-starring, you should always keep the combo going. See right there's a tip ×2, because the tips are everything. Not just orders. Tips are what puts you over the 3-star limit. You can get 2 stars just by putting in orders, but if you keep that combo going, I guarantee you'll get 3 stars no problem. Heading over here to Kevin 4, very close to the thing. In order to unlock Kevin 4, you have to go to stage 3-1, and if you're on solo, achieve a score of 450, and if you're on cooperative, achieve a score of 1,100. Now, because it is 3-1, it is very simple. It's a new recipe, so if you don't get it on your first try, you can always come back because you'll be way better at that kind of meal, and you can just crush it with no problem at all. Now to talk about the level. This one was annoying. It's not necessarily difficult, but this one was one of the more annoying stages. This one was only annoying because of the fire. I don't know why that mechanic. I mean, I can tell it needs to be refined a little bit, because if you're holding something and that hits the fire, then you still bounce back. Just a little flaw I could see from that. If I felt like it would be more of my character instead of where the thing is. So if they, like, that fire is blocking a 2-lane hallway, and you have something in your hand, you have to be very precise in order to get through. It makes it difficult. Now on to how to beat this level, I guess. Yeah. So to get 3 stars on this level, I would say, especially on 2-player, you want to dedicate one person to cooking, and the other person, me, the red, I did a lot of the fire maintenance with the fire extinguisher, and I did dishes. That's really mostly all I did. I hardly ever did cooking stuff. I mean, I did sometimes here and there, but not as often as I probably should have been. But even though I was doing that, I was keeping all the fires out of the way for Malia, and she was able to continue cooking over and over and over again. She had no problem just ducking and diving the fires because I was on it on top. So if you designate one person to the fires and dishes, so that you're not just doing the fires, you're doing fires and dishes, so that way the other person always has dishes. If you do that, it makes it very simple to go back and forth, but not always simple, as you just saw right there. We still had a little mishap, almost. It was really close. We still managed to get 3 stars here. So I'm also going to talk about the tips here. So if you look at the bottom right, or sorry, bottom left, you will see that we have ×4 tips, and the coin thing's on fire. So that will stay ×4 for as long as it will. Like, it will never run out of time. But it will run out if we turn in an order that's not the farthest to the left. So the farthest to the left one right now is the steak. But we also have like a fish and a carrot and shrimps. So we could easily turn in a fish. I mean, that's like 3 less steps than the actual steak meal. So we don't want to do that, because if we did that, it would ruin our combo. And the longer you keep your combo going, the more money you're going to get, which means the closer you're going to get to 3 stars. And that's what we're trying to do here, is a full 3-star guide. So as long as you keep that combo up, you will maintain the ability to get like extra money. So to put it in perspective, if you don't have a combo, you're getting like, I don't know, 40, 80, roughly around like between those range in just turning in meals. But if you have a ×4 tip, you're getting 20 per tip. So that could take a 40 meal up to a 60, or an 80 meal up to 100. And that's big, especially if you're going for 3 stars. So if you're still having trouble though, practice makes perfect. I suggest designating jobs, and yeah, that's that. Now on the downhill of Kevin levels, this is Kevin 5, very close to the castle as well. In this one, to unlock this one, you go to 4-3, and if you're on solo, you need a combo of 4 anytime in your game, and if you're on cooperative, you need a combo of 5 in any time in your game. I explained combos earlier in the video. If you want to go back and listen to that, I will explain it briefly here, but yeah, if you go back, and if you don't understand what the combos are, go back and look at those. Now, this level was hectic. This one, simple but chaotic. And that's as easy as I can put it. So the dynamic of this one is that there's two stations, and if you see those two people on the left and right, they push the things across. So you got this breeze every now and then that pushes the things back and forth. As well as in the lane, there are cars. Yeah, right there, cars. And there's no indicator of when they're coming. They just kind of come. So they're not all just random. You can kind of, as you play the level more, you can kind of in your head just think about, oh yeah, they're gonna come roughly now, and then like blah blah blah, it comes. So that's one way easy to make it avoidable. Is just try to time it out in your head, but not all the time, as you can see. It's sometimes hard to do that because you're so rushed about all the meals and trying to get all this and that you miss the whole cars entirely. How to 3-star this one easily? I would say less of the jobs thing, as I've said in some of the other ones. This one is more of a meal base. So the meals are all pretty much the same, except for the fish. That's the only one that's a little easier and it's out of the blue. So designate each person to a meal or designate each person to 2 meals. In this case, we did 2 meals roughly because we could both handle 2 meals at the same time. We are dying a bunch there. I didn't even realize. Anyways, so we designated 2 meals to each of us as we were going back and forth trying to do things, and that kept it pretty tame and pretty simple. Let's see. Ooh, in this level in particular, I will emphasize the need for throwing, and it's less of a need, more as it really helps. So at any point, you can throw any ingredient, chopped or regular, into a place where it can cook, stir, steam, brew, whatever. You can always throw your ingredients into, like, the pot. You can always throw chopped steak that's uncooked into the pot, always. If it's empty, yes, but if it's full, you can't. In this level in particular, you can take the flour and you can throw it into the 2 mixers to get yourself like a head start on each one. Like right there, I just threw some flour in so that way I could give a job. It doesn't seem like it saves a lot of time rather than running, and most of the time I do run, but when those few times you do throw, it can save seconds. Like if you do it 20 times in a run, that's saving 20 seconds. So you have 20 extra seconds to make something else or craft something else. So it's always important to throw, and try to throw accurately. Even if it takes you a while, it still can be important, especially on some other stages. This one, a little less, but sometimes it can. So good luck on this level. Kevin 6. This is the one that we, as on our casual playthrough, we kind of missed, but we still got to it. So to unlock this one, you got to go to 4-5, and if you're on solo, score 400. In cooperative, you score 500. Can be difficult, but if you know what you're doing and you've been playing for quite a bit, it's not too difficult. But this stage, oh boy, this stage is an interesting one. Now, let me preface this one by saying conveyor belts when they're going fast, suck. It's really hard to counteract them, but it is doable. It's not like it's an unfair mechanic or anything. It's doable. Let's see there, showing off the throws. So this one's a big on being able to control where you're walking, as well as boosting. Boosting allows you to kind of counterdict the conveyor belts. So being able to do that is a pretty good power in this game. Also throwing. So did you see right there? I threw the flour into the mixer. Throwing is crucial on this one. It was less on the last one, but this one it's almost needed if you're going for 3 stars, because if you don't throw your ingredients around where you need it to be and you end up just chasing it, or you're just trying to run to that spot, it's gonna make it incredibly difficult. Like, even as simple as that, throwing the flour straight into the mixer. As long as you have it open, try not to throw through a thing, because if there's an empty spot on one and you don't need it in that one, it will go into the closest one. So try to avoid that as much as you can. The steamers aren't much of an issue. The mixers is where it gets a little complicated, because the mixers, you have to throw ingredients in, you gotta chop them, put this, that, whatever, and it gets a little messy. Always designate somebody to the plates, of course. At least one person. I ended up doing the plates. I'm the red player. I ended up doing the plates for most of the time, just because Malia was doing most of the cooking, and I was doing most of the cleanup work. If you're having trouble with this one, I can understand, because the conveyor belts are annoying as heck. So if you're having trouble with this one, be sure to just actually, now that I think about it, if you're having trouble with this one, you want to try to designate jobs for each person. So like one person will stay on the left and do the steaming and the ingredients. They will toss the ingredients back. So whoever's good at tossing, you could send them into those 2 sections, and they would throw the ingredients to the other person who's on the right side doing the mixing and the cutting. If that still gives you problems, you could try the order one. I don't think that'll work as well. This one is definitely more of a job-based, as me and Malia ended up just doing most of the jobs, because we're both pretty good at this game. So we were able to go back and forth on each of these and keep it going like that. If you're still having trouble though, of course, try to keep your combo up, because if your combo drops at any point, you're gonna lose that tip multiplier, and you're gonna be wasting a ton of money that you could be saving, and you could be getting a ton of money, but you're not, because you missed your combos. So do the orders in order. It sounds dumb, but it really helps in the long run. Good old Kevin 7. This one is this is the level that we found out about combos. This is the one that gave us the insight on what combos are and how to do that. So to unlock this one, you're gonna need to go all the way down here to 5-5. It's not 5-6, you would think it is, but no, it's 5-5. So you go to 5-5, and on 5-5, you would need to, on solo, achieve a combo of 5, but on cooperative, achieve a combo of 8. Now, we thought this one was hard, but really we found out it wasn't after we actually knew what combos were. Because combos, we didn't know what they were, and we just read it up, and we were like, whoa, what's a combo? I don't know what a combo is, but then we figured it out on, you have to do it in order. We thought it was time-based. It's not time-based. It's in order. So, first, second, third order in a row, you have to get them in a sequence. You can't jump from first to third. You will lose your combo, and you won't unlock the level. Speaking of unlocking the level, here it is right now. This level is interesting. I mean, this one's fun. By all means, this one's fun. For as stupid as it was unlocking it for us, we unlocked it and we're like, this one's gonna be super hard, but it's not. This one is very simple, especially with 2 people. It makes it super easy because you got your own kitchens. Each person has their own little area to work in. I on the bottom, Malia on the top, 'cause she's blue, I'm red. So if you just saw right there, so what happens during this level is the steamers and the mixers switch places, and I mean, like, they'll both go up or down, and they'll slide up and down, and then you have to work with that basically, like as you can just see right there. So one of the things that we used as like a little tip in this level was the person on the top, or sorry, not the person on the top, either person could throw their item down into the mixer. So Malia up top there could throw her shrimp and the flour into the mixer from my side. So the mixers are on my side, but yet she was still able to throw it in. That's what made this level super simple, because one person could be cleaning the dishes while the other person's out putting things into the mixers without it being on their side. It's kind of the same thing with the steamers. The steamers are more of like, I could resemble it closer to the pots of like making burgers. It was the same sort of idea where you had to, it's just something you have to maintain, and it's not that difficult if you've ever played this game. If you've unlocked Heaven 7, you already know how to deal with the steamers. So that was pretty simple. The only thing that we kind of ran into a dilemma to was the fact that the dishes could only be washed on one side. So I had to clean the dishes the entire time, and a lot of the time we were waiting on the dishes because we were like, oh, we need the dishes, what the heck? But we had to just keep cleaning them because they kept, they weren't, clean dirty, so we had to just keep cleaning them. That was the only thing we really ran into a hassle to. Other than that, it was very simple. This level's not that hard. If you have trouble with this one, remember, get your combo. Like right there, we just dropped our combo and we're missing out on some easy bucks. It's super easy to get money if you keep your combo up. You get an extra 20 bucks every time. If you have a ×4, you get 20 bucks extra every time. So keep your combos up, and if you're still having trouble, then by all means try to practice some other levels that are simple where you have 2 kitchens, because this one you can't really designate jobs, you can't really designate orders, so you kind of just have to base this one off of just regular skill. This one is just experience based, and that's that. Simple enough. And finally, Kevin 8, the one that is my personal least favorite just because the conveyor belts are annoying to deal with. To unlock this one, you're going to need to go down to 6-4 over there, and if you're on solo, you want to beat that level and get a combo of 5 at any point, and if you're on cooperative, you want to do a combo of 7 at any point. It's as easy as that to unlock the level. These levels are pretty simple to beat, or sorry, to unlock, if you understand how to unlock them. If you don't know what, like we had the problem where we're like, what's a combo? We had no idea what that was. It makes it really hard to unlock it. Now, this level is frustrating. You'll see what I mean. So the food spawns at the top and mixes its way down, and you just have to grab it. That's the only way you get food. Sometimes it goes the way you don't want it to, sometimes it does. You know, it's a mix mash. See? Then spawn some more and then they're all mix mashing. So this one is quite annoying. The person on the left has the steamers, the person on the right has the mixers, and the person on the right is going to be handing the dishes. So the part that made this map the hardest was the fact that if you place anything on that middle conveyor belt, and that, might I say, that middle conveyor belt is the only way you guys can trade between each other. So if you were done with the mixer and you gotta give the other person something, they gotta wait, come over there, and you gotta give it to them because it's gonna fall in the trash if you don't grab it quick enough. And the way we worked around that, my team, the way we worked around that was every time we came up to the thing, we would announce it. So the moment I would walk up with something done with the mixer, I would go food or like order. I'd say, you know, something. I'd say like mix, or I'd say, most of the time we said order. We just said order. Like Malia right here, she'd go order, and then I would walk up to with whatever, even if I'm holding something, whenever you both come up, like say if you're both holding something, one person's holding a dish that's complete, and one person's holding like the mixer bowl with stuff in it, you have to determine which is the most important. So like most of the time, in my case, the person on the right, me, anytime Malia said order and she had a complete dish, I would always just have to put my thing down, whatever I was holding, and then grab her dish because it was more important. You gotta serve that thing. Same thing goes with combos. You'll want to keep the combos going. So if Malia hands me an order that's like, in this instance, if she had a steak before she had fish, I would put the fish down, and I would put the steak down, and I would wait till she had the fish ready, and then I would put the fish, then steak to keep the combo going. You want to keep those tip multipliers up, because if you keep those up, then you will get $20 extra on each thing, and that is very crucial to getting 3 stars. And this is the last level. I mean, there's not many other secrets as of right now, as of August 8th, in fact. We do not know if there are any more secrets or hidden areas or hidden anything in this game. As far as we know as of now, there is nothing. So if anyone wants to find anything else secret, which would be pretty cool, be my guest, because we'd be down to play some more of this Overcooked too. This game altogether is amazing. Compared to the first one, this one was really, really good. This one was amazing. I love what they did with this game. Like, the first one, compared to this one, the first one was kind of choppy, it was kind of lackluster, it was kind of, you know, blah blah blah, like, some of the levels suck. But with the addition of throwing, the movement is smoother. The dashing, bonking, like, between each other, it's not as dramatic. The dishes they're complicated yet simple. It's a more flushed out game, and I love it. It's so amazing, and I just want to thank the developers for making such an amazing game, because this game is so good. Compared to the first one, they really did a good job of improving the game. They really did. So that's about it. That's all 8 Kevin levels complete and done. If you have any other problems or anything, just go back to that world or that level and check out all the tips and stuff I gave. But other than that, if you want to see any of the other worlds, if you need help on any of the other worlds, I'm going to make more videos in the future. Those are coming out soon. So stay tuned for those, coming either tomorrow or the next day. And have a nice day, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.